All right, what's going on, everybody? First look at Survivor. Our first look at Survivor. We got one win so far on a Thursday night game. Just double checking Survivor real quick before the games kick off here at noon. But so we hit the Niners already. We still got the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Jaguars, the Bills, the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Patriots, and the Lions. So let me turn the music down. All right, let's get into our week 3 guys that we're starting. I have new pages for the most part. Going over quarterbacks here. You get your QB1s, your QB2s, your bench. This is kind of in no particular order. This isn't really in a particular order, if I'm being honest. Just threw them on here. You got Mahomes, Hurts, Lamar, Allen, Herbert, T-Law, Tua Tagovailoa, Cousins, Dak, Geno, Jared Goff, and Justin Fields. I know you guys are thinking, why is Justin Fields in here? But I'm gonna give Justin Fields like one more chance here to really kind of maybe salvage the day for us here, especially for those of us who own him. I'm gonna put him in the QB1 category. These are guys that I would probably more than likely start. If you're looking for a guy to replace Fields with and you don't want to start Fields, Jared Goff and Geno would be one of my guys this week. If you're looking for somebody in the QB2, maybe Purdy could have been that guy for you on Thursday night. If not, probably Russell Wilson or Matthew Stafford would be that guy that's in the QB2 spot. The reason why Russell Wilson has a pretty high total with the Dolphins on the road against the Dolphins, and then Stafford has been slinging it more than just about anybody the first 2 weeks. So Stafford could be that guy that's QB2. The QB2s are Russ, Burrow. I don't know if Burrow's going to play. I don't know if we've gotten any update on him at all. Let me just double check here. No clue if we got any update on Joe Burrow. My guess is we're not going to know until late. So what you can do if you don't know, let's say you have Joe Burrow. What you could do is, if you're not sure and you want to wait until maybe later tonight, like close to the Sunday night football game, you'd have to wait till right before the Sunday night football game. What you would have to do is, if Pickett is out there, okay, if Pickett is out there, well, first of all, maybe grab. This is tough because I guess somebody could pick these guys up technically still before their games, if they wanted to. But I would think about grabbing Kenny Pickett for Sunday Night Football. I think Kenny Pickett could have a pretty good week this week, tonight against the Raiders. I think he could be okay if you wanted to go that route. And then you could pick up, let's say we find out a little bit later, we get a little bit, some news in the afternoon games that Burrow's not going to play, or whatever the case may be. You could grab Kenny Pickett if you want to go that route, or you just make sure you grab Jake Browning or whatever. So you could go Jake Browning Monday night, or you could wait to grab Stafford or Kenny Pickett or something like that, like later on tonight, and then just roll with one of those two if they're out there. It just depends on if they're out there as well. If there is no Kenny Pickett, if there is no Matthew Stafford in your league, then I would make sure I grab Jake Browning, obviously. Or you should have probably already done that, or do it now before 12 o'clock. I don't see like really any news on here about him. It says Zach Wilson's going to have a new offensive line combo today. Amon-Ra St. Brown's active. Hopkins is active. Christian Watson, Aaron Jones are inactive. Jahmyr Gibbs expected to handle the bulk of the carries. Warren's expected to get more involved. Sunday Night Football tonight. Jaylen Warren's supposed to be involved a little bit more. Akers is inactive. Reynolds is officially active. So is A.T. Perry. Jair Alexander is active tonight or today. Cornerback for the Packers. It says Warren can see a larger role. Pacheco good to go. Kadarius Toney is going to be a game time decision week 3. He's got toe injury. Maybe a little bit of a turf toe. DK ribs expected to play. Devontae Smith will be playing tomorrow if you own him. If you're an owner of him like me, expect to play him. Kenneth Gainwell, ribs good to go for week 3. He's probably going to be sitting a little bit behind DeAndre Swift though. I'm going to change my song back. Okay, Puka Nacua expected to play tomorrow night. Irv Smith is doubtful for Monday night. Let me just keep going here. Yeah, it still says he's questionable for Joe Burrow. AJ McCarron signed with the Bengals practice squad. So if you guys see the signing of AJ McCarron, that's kind of a sign. That's almost a telltale sign that Burrow, in my opinion, is not going to play tomorrow night. Okay, that's just what that tells me, because that's usually what teams will do. They'll end up activating the guy from the practice squad, which is, you know, they signed AJ McCarron with the practice squad here. Usually they end up going out and getting somebody or activating guy, you know, the day or two beforehand. That's usually a sign of them not playing the starter. That's usually what that means. So if I had to guess, I'm gonna say Burrow's not gonna play. So I would make sure I have Jake Browning. I would make sure I would have a Pickett tonight, maybe, or you could even go Stafford. I wouldn't be against that. I would really go Pickett or Stafford if I was being honest. If I was a Joe Burrow owner, and you know, we find out maybe a little bit later today that he's like really not gonna play. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's tough when you get, you know, a situation like this. Once again, on Monday night, we don't know if they're going to play. They had the same situation last week with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper ended up playing. I think this is a little bit different, though. And so, I mean, this is your quarterback, too. You want to make sure that you have this person in your starting lineup. So, it's up to you guys, really, though. The QB2s, though, Russ, Burrow. I'm going to say Burrow is really a QB2 this week, even if he does play. We could have him over here on the bench, you know, the bench area if he doesn't play, obviously. That's why I put Jimmy G in here as well. That's why we got one more guy. Jordan Love, Purdy. Hopefully, you know, if you don't have the best quarterbacks, you started Purdy on Thursday. He did a pretty good game, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Watson, Howell, Stafford, Pickett, Carr, Mayfield, Mac Jones, CJ Stroud, and Jimmy Garoppolo. These are kind of my QB2s, especially if you're like super flex league. These are guys I would be looking for. Obviously Young, you're not going to play Young. He is not playing. You have Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton could be an okay replacement. Obviously, if you have Bryce Young, especially if it's like a super flex league, I would make sure I had him on my team. Probably a few days ago when we found out Bryce Young was ruled out. I think Ritter could be a decent play over here as well as a QB2 if you got like a super flex league. Obviously, I wouldn't be looking to play him in a 1 QB. Hopefully, you didn't play Danny Dimes the other night. Zach Wilson's going to be on this bench part. So is Tannehill, and obviously so is Anthony Richardson, who is not playing. All right, let's go to our running backs here. The running backs, CMC. Hopefully you had CMC in your lineup, I would hope, if you owned them. Jacobs, Bijan, Pollard, Kyron Williams, Joe Mixon, Stevenson, ETN, Kenneth Walker, Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and James Cook are my RB1s this week. I think with somebody like James Cook, you might see him get in the end zone. You might see him fall in the end zone this week. Gibbs going to get the bulk of the carries, the bulk of the work at the running back spot this week with no Montgomery, who's doubtful. I believe he's already ruled out. Kenneth Walker, I think he's set to have a really big game here as well. I think Stevenson will be okay. Stevenson, you know, I'm not super high on Stevenson. I know he's like up here in like the 7th position. Really, Stevenson should be down here if you're looking in terms of rankings. We'll put Stevenson down the list a little bit here. But yeah, Stevenson probably just barely rounds at the top 12 here. This up. So now that we know that Aaron Jones is officially inactive, we'll bring him down here. Dylan can be... I don't care what people say about him. I'm not moving him into your running back 2 until he proves it otherwise. So those are your top 12 running backs. ETN, Mixon. You know, I think Mixon's set to probably fall in the end zone tomorrow night. ETN can have a pretty big game as well. A lot of these guys that are in this running back 1 column are in for a big game. A lot of them. Jacobs included. Bijan, Pollard. Kyron's one of the ones that maybe not have, he maybe cools off a little bit compared to what he did last week, but you never know. They'll probably still have him highly involved this week again. But Stevenson's one of the ones I would probably have kind of towards the bottom of the top 12 here as far as RB1s go this week, but he does make the list. It's really between him and Mostert and probably like Brian Robinson, but Mostert, Najee, Rachaad White, B-Rob, Swift, Connor, Kelly, and Kelly almost qualifies as a running back 1 as well. But really, if you have 2 running back spots, which you should, all of these guys should be probably starting if you have them, because you're not going to have every single one of them, obviously. But yeah, Kelly, Sanders, Madison, Ford, Javonte, Hall, all of these guys should round out your top 2 running backs here. Moss and Warren are close. They're close flex plays here, obviously. Flex plays meaning they could be about your 3rd running back on your roster if you have 3 and you want to start 3 this week. Pierce in the flex spot as well. And look, whenever they're in this flex spot, that means I would maybe flex them, I would maybe not, depending on my roster. Really, if they're in this flex spot, they're kind of a guy that I would probably, they're not going to be in your first 2 running back spots, so there's a chance you probably don't play him this week. Gus is kind of an exception. I think Gus could be close to being in this running back 2 spot now that we know there's no Justice Hill. I do like Tyler Algier in the running back 2 spot as well if you need a guy there and you don't have as deep of a bench. P. Ryan's probably, yeah, P. Ryan, Pierce, Moss, even though Moss could also potentially be down here in this running back 2 spot. It really just depends on your roster, but I would say he's a flex. I don't really think he's a top 24 running back this week. I don't think Gus is a top 24 running back this week either. I think he's close. I think he's like 25, 26, right? He's just barely outside. You know, in terms of rankings, he would be up here with Warren. He's just barely outside top 24. Doesn't mean you can't play him. You can still play him. You know, P. Ryan, Roshan, Herbert, Dylan's probably pretty close as well now, with no Aaron Jones again this week. Miller, Moss, all these guys are very close. They're outside my top 24 though, so this is why they're over here in this flex spot. These are still some good guys to start if you have them on your roster and you're thin at receiver and you have 2 other running backs ahead of them. So these are your running backs right here. Running back 1s, running back 2s, 3s, and so on and so forth. And then you got guys down here that are pretty much on your bench. All these guys down here are on your bench because they're either hurt, don't play enough, hurt, you know, limited snaps. We don't even know how many snaps Kareem Hunt's going to have. JT's obviously not playing. Rashad Penny and Gainwell are limited and probably won't play that much with Swift in front of them. So these are guys probably going to bench that are all down here. They should not be in your starting lineups at all. All right, let's go receivers. Receiver 1s, Jefferson, Chase, Ridley. I got Mike Evans as a receiver 1 this week. A lot of people do not, as far as the consensus rankings go. A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Olave, St. Brown, and Adams. These are all receiver ones this week, in my opinion. There's guys that are just outside of it. I had Debo. Obviously, he played Thursday night. If you had him in your lineup, good for you. 25 points or so in a half PPR, probably a little bit more full PPR. Devontae Smith, top of the wide receiver twos here. Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Mike Williams, Amari Cooper, Flowers, Metcalf and Lockett, Nakua, Pittman, Addison, Pickens. And we could probably throw... There's a couple of these guys in a flex spot you can maybe throw into your wide receiver 2 spot. It really just depends on your lineup, obviously. But as far as my top 12 receivers, it's these guys, the wide receiver 1s. My next 12 to 13 are the wide receiver 2s. Really, these are guys that you should be starting no matter what, especially if you have 3 wide receiver spots. The flex guys we can talk about. There's certain ones that could be in the wide receiver 2 category if you have a small bench, if you're missing some guys or whatever. If you had Waddle or somebody, maybe one of these guys move into your wide receiver 2 spots that's over here in your flex because Waddle's not playing, or maybe you go with 3 running backs. It really just depends what your roster is, what your lineup is. There's some people that have multiple flex spots, so if that's the case, I would answer your guys' question on a case-to-case basis. But I do like a lot of these guys in the flex that I kind of do. I don't know if I like Higgins as much. I feel like he could suffer this week after having a good week last week, especially if Burrow doesn't play. Judy, I don't mind Judy. Judy's a guy I would probably be looking to start. He's definitely the top of this list. He's up here towards the top. So is Mike Thomas. We'll see though. We'll see how much either Mike Thomas or Olave get Jair Alexander. I'll be curious to see how that matches up. Hopefully Mike Thomas is getting more of Jair Alexander because I own Chris Olave and I don't own Mike Thomas. Dotson, I know you guys are like, why is this guy at the flex? Blah blah blah. This guy's been letting us down. I'm gonna give Dotson another shot this week just because I'm missing Zay Jones. More Tutu PPR. Which more, Terrell? Which more? DJ Moore, Rondo Moore, Sky Moore. Which more is it? And also Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, you have to play, man. He's in the wide receiver 2 category. I just don't know how you cannot play him. I didn't play him last week, bro, and I missed out on 22 points. Jair Alexander's out. Is he really? I didn't see that. Maybe this report is wrong, and this report told me he was playing. Well, if there's no Jair Alexander, obviously start with confidence. Olave, you should be starting him anyways. Mike Thomas, you should probably be starting him anyways as well. Okay, officially inactive for week 3. Jair's out. So no Jair Alexander. Olave, Mike Thomas, fire them both up. DJ Moore. Okay, DJ Moore. Hold on a second. Let me get this on here real quick. DJ Moore, play him. I know it pains me to say that, but you got to play him. This is a shootout type of game, even though they're probably going to end up getting beat by my Chiefs pretty badly, but they're going to have to pass the ball. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, DJ Moore for Terrell. Yeah. Reed or Dell at the flex PPR. Give me Dell. Give me Dell. Dell's on a team that's got the quarterback who's he's tied for the most passes in the league through 2 weeks. They're going to be passing the ball pretty frequently in this game as well to try to keep up with Jacksonville. Give me Dell. Dell's going to see more snaps. He's going to be on the other, should be on the other side roughly, or really playing much of the slot, I guess, with Nico on one side and Robert Woods on the other. But Stroud likes Dell. He's going to throw to Dell. I think he's going to get close to probably 8 targets again this week. Kelly or Breece Hall, give me. Look, I got both these guys in the running back 2 category. Hall barely makes the list. I'm probably going to play Hall in my sleeper league. I kind of have no choice. I guess I don't really have. I do have choices, but I'm gonna take a chance with Breece. If I was you though, I would play Kelly. I got Kelly right here. Also in the running back 2 category. Kelly though for sure. Kelly over Hall for sure this week. If I own Kelly in this league as well, I would play him over Hall, but I'm gonna take a chance with Hall. Garrett Wilson or DJ Moore. See, this is a tough one, man, because you can see here I have both of these guys. Well, I mean, I guess technically I had DJ Moore in the flex, but DJ Moore could be over here depending on your roster. I'm starting, man, this is tough, dude. Between him and Garrett Wilson, if you're asking me who's going to get more points this week, full PPR, it's really close, probably. I'm not saying DJ Moore can't explode, but I don't know how I could play him over Garrett Wilson, just because Garrett Wilson's a better receiver. Look, go with your gut, man. Go with your gut. If you want to go DJ Moore, I wouldn't knock you for it. I mean, this is a tough guesstimate. Both guys are going to play, obviously. Moore's probably got the better matchup. I wouldn't knock you for going Moore. For me, though, it's tough not to play. I mean, I have to play Garrett Wilson in my other league, obviously. This is kind of threading the needle here between two guys that I wouldn't be shocked if Moore, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked if Moore got more than Garrett Wilson this week. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one, Terrell. Go with your gut, though. I'm going to say, if I had to guess, I'm going to say I think DJ Moore gets more than Wilson this week. But, you know what I mean? It's tough not to start Garrett Wilson. That's all I'm going to say. From Kendra in at running back 2 spot today, wild card. I don't like him today. I don't really like Kendra Miller, but you know, try it, I guess. He's gonna have a chance. He's gonna have a chance. I mean, they did get 2 rushing touchdowns last week, and they both went to Tony Jones. That could happen again. I worry about Taysom Hill though, in that offense taking carries away from him, especially inside the goal line or inside the red zone. So try it. It sucks that you're really going with Kendra. But I got Miller in the flex spot here. You can he's a play for sure. He's got that backfield to himself, but I do worry about Taysom Hill, obviously. Daniel Pierce, can you pick 3 running backs for me? Full PPR. Mixon's 1, Kyron's the other. And let's see, between Madison, Rashad, and Brian Robinson. If you notice, I got Rashad, Brian Robinson, B-Rob, and Madison here in the RB2 spot. Daniel, so Mixon's definitely 1, Kyron's definitely the other. They are in the running back 1 category. You have to start those guys. The third one, give me, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Give me Madison. Give Madison one more shot, because he does have a high total here, 54. Highest total of the slate. 50. I think it's 54 points or whatever between them and the Chargers. So this should be a shootout, and there's just always that opportunity that Madison falls in the end zone. Although I'm not really a big fan of him. If you wanted to go somebody other than Madison, take Rashad. Rashad would be next in line. B-Rob, I think, is last. I just like Rashad a little bit better this week. So you're splitting hairs, though, for the most part. Addison or Garrett Wilson? Give me Addison. Almost football time. Yeah, I know. Let's go. Yeah, I appreciate it, you guys. If you guys hit the like, also subscribe if you're new to the channel. I got the names up here with their logo a little bit different than what I had with their names. That way everybody can kind of really see who's who, because a lot of people don't know the players' faces very well. So standard, is that Bijan Robinson? If it's Bijan, it's Bijan all day, Terrell, no matter what. If it's Brian Robinson, give me Kelly. Okay, say B Robinson. We got 2 B Robinsons now. If it's Bijan, it's Bijan all day. I don't care if it's standard or not. If it's Brian Robinson from Washington, give me Kelly. Fire Kelly back up again if you guys own him. I know he let you guys down last week, but I don't think he's gonna let you down this week. It's Brian Robinson. Yeah, give me Kelly then. Give me Kelly. All right, let's go to the tight ends real quick. We got 18 minutes here. These are your tight end ones. Hopefully you started Kittle if you owned him on Thursday. These are your tight end ones. So Kelsey, Andrews, Kincaid. I'm throwing Kincaid in here. Kittle, Waller, Goddard. You know, especially Goddard. Give him another chance. Waller. Obviously, if you started him, I feel bad for you. He did not play very good Thursday night. Luckily, I don't know. Laporta is another one. Laporta, I think, is gonna definitely be a guy who's in the mix as far as inside the top 12 tight ends this week. Ingram, Ferguson, and Njoku, Hunter Henry, those guys. Tight end twos here, we got Ertz, Smythe, Musgrave, Freiermuth. I actually do kind of like Freiermuth. You could almost move him over here into this category. I know he let everybody down last week, but I have a feeling this is the week. Tonight, Sunday Night Football, I have a feeling they're going to get him involved. Especially after what happened last week. I think he rebounds, they get him more targets, more catches, more yards, maybe even scores a touchdown as well. Kmet, really Pitts is a guy that I would, he's tight end too, but I would be benching him. And I know I don't have all the tight ends on here, only kind of the key figures, you know, the key names. Taysom Hill, tight end 2, I would consider. If you don't have the greatest options at tight end, I would start him. Same thing with Hayden Hurst. He could be in this tight end 1 category as well. I think his game's going to improve a little bit with Andy Dalton there, to be honest. Andy Dalton loved to target tight ends when he played for New Orleans last year. You know, Juwan Johnson got a ton of targets. Hayden Hurst could be pretty good at play this week. Would you drop Elijah Moore to stash Spears, PPR? If you have a ton of receivers, yes. If you don't, no. Spears is a guy I do think is going to be really, really good. If something like, he's going to be one of the better stashes if something happens to Derrick Henry. But if you have if you don't have 4 or 5 other pretty good or decent receivers, you got to keep Elijah Moore. If you're good at receiver, then yeah, drop him, pick up Spears. Spears could be a potential league winner if something happens to like Henry. But I don't know, man. Henry's like Iron Man, dude. The guy just doesn't really get hurt, even though he's old and he's been so much tread on the tires. He still stays healthy every single year. It's weird. So, well, let's put it right here. All right, let's go to defenses real quick. So the first column on the left side, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Eagles, and the Bills. These are my top 6. And then the Jets on down is my 7 through 12. And then the Saints would be defense 13, Steelers 14, Tennessee 15. These are really my top 15 right here for the week. So the first column is the first 6. The second column is 7 through 12 ranks. And then the Saints, Steelers, Titans are ranks 13, 14, and 15 as far as my defenses go this week. I mean, if you got one of the top 12 right here, you really can't go wrong with either or. I would consider the Saints maybe over the Ravens or something like that, or even Jacksonville this week. But both those teams do have favorable matchups. Is it super rainy right now in Baltimore? I don't know what the weather is in Baltimore. I heard that they had a bunch of rain, or they were getting rain. I'm not quite sure. Raiders or Jacksonville? Give me Jacksonville, man. Give me Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville's defense. Let me just double check. I got a couple of notifications here. So Browns running back Kareem Hunt will be on a snap count this week. It's going to be mostly Jerome Ford, guys. He does have a tough matchup against Tennessee, who's been shutting down just about every running back each week. You know, they shut down the Saints running backs, and then they obviously shut down Kelly last week as well. Let me check something here. I'm gonna check my lineup. I believe the only thing I'm not really sure on is the weather. I thought there was one game that was supposed to have quite a bit of rain, is what I thought. Maybe not. Looks like there's a little bit of rain in Seattle. potentially in the Seattle game. That doesn't matter for our Kenneth Walker shares. That's really, if anything, it's really kind of a good thing. Let's see here. Does look like there is a little bit of rain. Jets game, a lot of rain. It looks like a lot of these northeast games or east games in general have a little bit of rain in the forecast today for their games. I'm looking at Baltimore right now. Looks like they got showers up until about 2 o'clock, and so that game is at noon. So there's gonna be a little bit of rain in this Baltimore game, I believe, from the looks of it. It looks like they got showers up to about 1:45 roughly is what it says here. 72% chance of rain right now, so it's raining right now. And then 57%, 42, 33, and then only about 22% at 2 p.m. So maybe in the second half it doesn't rain as much, obviously. It looks like overcast pretty much the rest of the way. Hey guys, expect, look, because I just traded for Lamar too as well. Expect Lamar. Lamar can beat this team with his arm. The secondary, they have a lot of backups in it. The secondary for the Colts, I believe, they're not good in the secondary anyways. That is their weakest part of their defense. And I would expect probably Lamar to use his legs a little bit today as well. So game will be fine in Baltimore. Lamar about to go off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lamar, you know, let's go to the QBs here. Lamar is a good start this week for sure. This is a gettable defense, a very gettable defense. This kid, look, you guys have been looking, you guys have been waiting. If you guys are Lamar owners, you guys have been waiting for the game where he goes off. This is probably the game. If I had to guess, this will be the first one if I was a betting man. So let's look at Seahawks weather here. Looks like a little bit of rain. It's going to be pretty much raining. We go to hourly. Let's go to hourly. Looks like it's going to be raining all week there in Seattle, dude. It's going to be raining all the way up until Friday. Looks like it's cloudy right now, though. Looks like it's cloudy. Looks like they don't really have any rain though right now. May not be until after the game. They do play at 3 o'clock though, so maybe not. Looks like they'll be okay. Looks like they're gonna have just overcast. Let's look at the. You said the Jets, right? Let's look at New York. Oh yeah, they got some rain up in New York for sure. Looking at the radar. Looks like it's gonna be raining like all day. Look at the hourly. Tutu or Drake London PPR. Give me Tutu, man. I don't trust Drake London. You guys should have sold him after this past week. If you guys couldn't do that, then that sucks. I would have sold him for everything I could get. Maybe a running back. Sold him across position to get a running back. Give me Tutu, man. It's, you know, I wouldn't blame you if you went Drake London, but I would have sold that guy to where I wouldn't even have to made this decision this week. I would have sold him immediately to get something for him. Get, you know, trade him for Jerome Ford or somebody. Get something out of him across position. It's probably gonna be tough to like trade him for a receiver, but you could trade him for a running back or something. I think pretty easily off that last week. Hopefully, you know, you're probably not gonna get what you want if you're in a league where people know like how bad of an offense he's in, but. Man, I'm telling you what, this is why I would have sold him, because I wouldn't want to have to make this decision about Tutu and Drake. If it's me, I'm probably, especially full PPR, I'm probably taking Tutu, man. I'll take the chance with the big play guy who plays out of this, who's going to be playing out of the slot, you know, that I know is probably going to get targets, where Drake London, it's like you're going to get what you got out of him last week, or you're going to get what you got out of him week one, where it's like one target, no catches. It's like boom or bust for the most part with London. and it's going to be very, very inconsistent. So yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit of rain. That's good. I'm kind of actually glad there's rain up there in New York. Give the ball to Breece. I'm starting Breece in my one league here. This is my team right here. This is my auction league. This is only half PPR, so I'm gonna go. I'm going Lamar, obviously Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Mixon, and Mixon's in at the flex since he plays tomorrow night. We got 12 out of Moody the other day. Phillies defense, Pat Freiermuth. I'm really kind of, I don't know if I should go Freiermuth or Kincaid. This is a toss up for me. I had Kincaid, but I ended up picking Freiermuth up off the waivers the other day, so I think I'm gonna roll the dice with Freiermuth, even though he had the bad game. I think Freiermuth's due for some positive regression from the last couple of weeks, and then obviously I'm gonna stick it out with Smith and Olave here at receiver. So in the other league, we got Fields. We're gonna keep Fields in. We kind of have to. We have no choice. Because I don't have another quarterback, and this is a double points for a quarterback who can run in touchdowns. So if he runs one in for me, really, if he just runs one in, doesn't have to be anything crazy. If he runs one in for me today, I'm solid. Bijan and Walker at the running back spots. Receivers, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson. I'm gonna roll with Dotson. I could throw in Cortland Sutton, but I don't think I'm going to. Dallas's defense, Moody at kicker, and Hunter Henry this week at the tight end spot. This is a 3 receiver league, so I can't throw in Stevenson, or I would, or Kelly. I would probably throw Kelly in really if I could, but I can only start 2 running backs, guys. I'm going with these 2. So Kelly, Algier, P. Ryan, and Ramondre are on the bench, and it sucks, man. I've been trying to move one of these running backs because I don't want to have all these guys on here, because I can only start 2 a week, so it is what it is. All right, guys, if you guys have any more last second questions, now's the time. If not, man, I'm about to sign off. We have 5 minutes or so till game time. Maybe start to get on early each Sunday morning. What we got on 11:15. We got on 11:15 last week. We might go 11. We might even back it up to 10:30 just to get a little bit more time. If that's what you guys think I should do, you know. Final thoughts though, I would just make sure, you don't like, you know, especially at running back here, if you're not super deep at running back, you have Gus, you probably should start him. Same thing with Warren. I would consider putting him at the flex if you're not strong at running back or receiver, but you have him on your bench. Same thing with Hall, obviously. Miller, you know, you could throw him in that category too, but I don't really like Miller this week. I'm really being honest with you guys, I just don't. So all right, I am gonna sign off. I'm out of here. We'll catch you guys probably tonight. We'll do some kind of live stream tonight after reactions or whatever. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Enjoy the games. I'm out of here.